And we are live. Hello, 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 everybody. Coach Hadassah here, metaphysician, personal development coach, wellness entrepreneur, and proud founding member of Extreme FX Global Academy. Because the money resides where Bitcoin and Forex collide. And today is Think About It Thursday. Y'all see all this red, right? It's not enough that I got red hair. But then I had a nerve to have on a red hat and a red shirt. Where's the reason for that? Because Thursday is that day. Thursday is Mars Day. And Mars is all about action, right? It is the ruling planet of Aries. The color is red, and red is a go color, right? Go, take action, move fast, quickly, all of that, emergency. Now, think about that in terms of the stoplight, right? And the signs. Now, think about that. Why would a color that really registers with the psyche and it means go, urgent, act fast, act quickly, like run, 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 be the light or the color of the light that's supposed to tell you to stop? Mm-hmm. You think it's just because they might want people to run a light so they can give them a ticket? I don't know, but that's something to think about on this Think About Thursday. But I digress. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Because it is Think About It Thursday. Well, first of all, I want to say this. I want to open up with this. Tonight, it is Thursday. Every Thursday, um, well, usually on Thursdays, it's a Zoom, but because the weather is breaking and we have more of the we have the social distancing practices on lock now. We pretty much know what's the guidelines if we were to have like an in-person meeting for places. Okay, so Thursday, which is today, Hyper Lounge. So I'm inviting you to the Hyper Lounge. That's today, and my Zoom at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. So I'm gonna put the banner up in a little bit. Um, and so you want to go to, of course, Linktree / coach.hadassah. Then you want to click on Zoom, right? You want to click on Zoom, enter in the word not password, power in all caps. Enter in the passcode, power in all caps, and you'll be right there in the Zoom link. Because what? I'm going to show you all about this wonderful, not only just this wonderful world of trading, but the community, the trading community that we have. It is such an awesome community. If you like things that feel like family, that feel like home, that feel like, you want to be supported by people who really want you to win. We're not in competition with one another. We're competing against time. Really, that's what we're doing. We're competing against time, but we're helping one another and we're encouraging one another because we want to see each other win. Right? Win at what? At lives, win at our own lives, win at making our own, dreams and desires and things like that come true. But not only that, to manifest the kingdom on earth as it is in the kingdom of heaven, we are supposed to manifest that. And not only that, we're supposed to have dominion, which means to dominate, right? You might have a business or something that you need to fund, and who knows, like, yeah, they giving away money. They pretty much are. They're giving away the money, throwing away money, all kinds of stuff like that. But guess what? You can make that same money and even more in the Forex market. It's a $7.3 trillion market, and all you have to do is learn the skill set. Just learn the skill set. And it's not even that hard. All you have to do is just really apply yourself. My son, he applied himself in 28 days. I'm sitting over here like, because I got a whole lot of stuff. Look, I got a whole lot of stuff going on, so he has a bit more time than I do. But I would say, what, 28 days, he's he's doing some things that I'm in awe about, right? So, and then, I'm a little older. So I'm the one that's on that binary HFX binary options where I could just push the button. I'm like, I don't have that kind of time. Let me just did this where I could just push the button, right? So I keep teasing about how they need to up the age on the seniorpreneurs community that we have on over here, which is age 50 and up. I'm like, can y'all let a sister in? I mean, my birthday is in what's today? Today is April 1st. So happy New Year to those that know and understand about the true New Year, and which it'll really be come April 11th, which is the day that we start our trading plan. But anyway, let me not go, ADHD on folks. We're right in the same vein. But yeah, I'm like, can y'all let a sister in? I mean, I'm about 4 years away from the seniourspreneur community, but I just need to press the button. I Perfect entry. Boom. Boo, yay. I just made $250 in the trade for 15 minutes. Right? Cause I don't have the time. I just don't. It's a lot. I mean, I got all these the cheering, CHIRREN, all these cheering around here, and look, and with sister, you see sister over there, sister, where is your head, girl? If you don't hold your head up, sister over here, she over here watching wrestling. That's her thing. That's what she like to do, and yeah, just a lot of stuff, making sure my team's straight and all of that. And I'm like, I just need to push the button. But the children, our youth, they have more time. They can pick it up. They don't have all of their memory is not full with a bunch of stuff that you got to unlearn and then relearn, right? So bring your children on over here. But tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to tell you what it's all about. Okay. Again, you're going to go on my Zoom. As a matter of fact, let me just do it now. Let's do it now. Boom. There we go. So you can see the information the whole time on this hour of power, or the power hour. I might change it to the power hour. It kind of sound like a radio station type of thing. GCI. I think, didn't GCI used to have a power hour? I don't know. Anyway, so Thursday, that's the day. Hyper Launch, 7 p.m. Want to teach you all about our trading community. Okay. Because you want to hop aboard. Because guess what we're about to do in the Chicagoland area and surrounding suburbs? It's a takeover. And so I'm just telling you right now, now is the time to hop on board. Now is the time to hop on board. That's why we got all this red or this red, it means now, like today, like urgent. Like go ahead and get signed up, because I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to tell you. You could be anywhere. Look, we starting this trading plan. You're talking about $100 compounded to about $60,000 in 12 weeks, on top of a residual income where in 90 days you could possibly be looking at $100,000 a month. I didn't stutter. $100,000 a month, right? Because we have millionaires over here that is teaching us how to do what they did and continue to do. What we always say, look, what did Kobe do? Didn't he study the best? He was like, I want to be, as a matter of fact, okay, I studied him. Now that I'm close enough to him, I'm going to hound him and ask him to mentor me. And guess what? Did he pattern his game after MJ? Of course, he made his own lane and we know him, for his game and his name, but what? He was mentored by the best that did it. That's always been, my thing. My motto was like, hey, if it's something that I really want and I really want to do, let me see if there's somebody somebody that's out here that did it, right? So that can help speed up the process. Otherwise, I have to take the long route because I just got to figure it out on my own, right? We have I want to say more than just $1 million coaches, just wealthy, because that's just across the board, health, wealth, all of that. What's up?
What time do you need to be back for leaving dad to go wherever?
Is he asleep?
He just woke up, but he told me to come talk to you before I left.
So he telling you to ask me.
Yeah,
Well,
because he said that he has to take you somewhere or something like that. I don't know.
I just said I want to go somewhere.
Okay, so just be
What?
back.
Just,
We was gonna, me and him was gonna go to the mall, me and Vito.
y'all ain't gonna be gone all night long though.
Nah, because Dro be coming here and we gonna leave with Dro be later on too.
Okay,
Alright.
sure. It's a bunch of them. That's a whole lot of them. And they all happen to be. Why did every man on earth want to come through me? I don't know. I'm talking about my sons. I got 5 of them. Like, they all want. What was that all about? Okay. Anyway. All right. So think about it Thursday. I had a question. Here's my question. Let's see if I could turn this light down a little bit because it's really blaring in my eyes. Okay. Question. On Think About It Thursday. Let me see what I want to start with. Let's start with the word think before I even ask this question. Like, have you ever taken the time to look up that word, the meaning of the word, the etymology, all of that, right? Think. It's a verb. We know verbs are action. It's action words. So, what do? You act. It's acting. It's a do. It causes and does things. Okay. So to think, imagine, conceive in the mind, consider, meditate, remember, intend, wish, desire. This one right here. Cause to appear to oneself. That's deep. Think. It's a verb, so it's an action word. Cause to appear to oneself. So when you think or meditate, conceive in the mind, you can cause to appear. This is an action. So my question is, why are you, and I have to say you because it used to be me, but I I'm not there. Like, I had to leave that place very long time ago. Had to. So why are you concerned about what other people think about you, who aren't even thinking properly? Let me say that again. Why are you concerned about what other people think about you who aren't even thinking properly? Because if thinking can cause one or cause to appear to oneself, if thinking can um causes you to conceive in the mind, right? Like, okay, so if we say as above, so below. So if we can conceive here, we conceive below. So what happens when you conceive below? Eventually, a human is born into the world. So if we conceive in the mind, eventually something is born in the world of the thought, right? Like I always have this book near, so I refer to it. The 12-week year, right? These are someone's thoughts that they conceived in the mind, wrote it out on paper, printed it out, all of that, selling it. It's I'm touching it. I'm reading it. And I'm like, oh, this is so great. Uh Everybody get this book, right? And not just read the book, but actually execute, because it talks about that in here. So things can be born of the mind. So why are we concerned about what others are thinking or think about us, and they're not even using their thinking, their mind and that faculty, that action of thinking properly? Because here's the thing. If I understand that thinking is conceiving in the mind and meditating and causing to appear to oneself, shouldn't I be using that energy towards, those thoughts, that energy towards being a better version of myself, um, causing things to appear to better my life, and those around me? Because if I better my life, those around me, I'll say with having the right heart. I will say that, because this, we live in the last days that the scriptures talked about. It gave a clear indicator of that doggone narcissistic personality disorder behavior. It said it in there. When you read it, you like, this is the behavior of those with this disorder out here. Like, whoa. So let me be clear, right? You cause to make to think, to make for you to be a better person, and in that way you can be better for those around you and others that you come in contact with as well, right? And then, because things happen. If there were, what do you call it, um conflict or misunderstanding or something like that, right? And if you can reconcile it, you can think, meditate, right? Cause to appear to oneself in order to reconcile those things. And because everybody has their own, everybody is responsible and accountable for their own stuff, themselves, their behavior, their actions, or whatever, right? So you do that, the other person does that as well. Boom. Guess what? Everything is cool now. We at peace, all of that. If not, still using that, the thinking, causing to appear, cause to appear to oneself, meditate, remember, using that energy to at least, because we have wish them well, right? No ill intent, no ill thought. I wish they get hit by a bus. I mean, you look, y'all know how people do, right? Thinking so ill of you. Just, hey, I hold them in thought that they get better. Um, and then leave it at that, right? Because that's how you would use that thinking faculty. Again, it's a verb, it's action. You can conceive in the mind, right? And those with ill intent can do that too. The only thing is that becomes a law unto themselves, where that ill thinking and that ill intent really goes no further than their own energy field. And that's why I say, you know, if you're going to use that faculty in such a way or in some type of way, use it to, I just wish them the best. I hope they get better. And then go back to using your thinking faculties to continue to do what? This is basically manifestation. Conceive in the mind. Because with conception, eventually there's a birth. Eventually there's a birth. Causing to appear. That's the birth. You cannot use your thinking faculties to be thinking about what somebody else thinking about you. It's a waste of mental energy. That's great, right? Great mental energy. It's a waste. And you don't want to waste that energy at all whatsoever. So yeah, I just had to like write notes to myself, like, they don't even know how to think, because if they did, if they knew how to think, they wouldn't waste that energy. They wouldn't waste their precious time to have you in thought like that. Not like that, maybe in some other type of way. Hey, how can we, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, how can we join forces together in thought in order to look, manifest some things that's for the better good of all involved. That's a great way to use those mental faculties of thinking. It's amazing. It really is amazing, especially when you like truly understand what thinking is, what it's about, how you can conceive in the mind to cause to appear, right? So think about it, especially on Think About It Thursday. Now, taking other people out of it, right? Because it ain't even about them. Now, what will you think about? What will you conceive in the mind? Imagine, wish, desire, cause to appear to oneself. Because that's what they say, cause to appear to oneself, right? Meditate on it. Think about it. Then write it down. We do that all the time, I don't know. I got so many doggone journals and books and the, there's one, there's another one right here. There's a few of them other ones over there, right? But manifestation journals, because you write them down, you get it out. And especially, this is a great time to have this conversation and talking about this, because um the new moon, is approaching April 11th, right? The new moon, this is a time to plant. With farmers, that's what they do. At the new moon, they plant. We do that same thing universally. The new moon, we plant. You think about, right? Think about that better life that you want for yourself and your family. Okay? What are those things? Write them down. Write them down. Think of 12 things, 12. Write them down in your book. In a book, in a journal. I have one, I call it my manifestation journal, right? I take 12 things, I write them down, and I really do it like according to like this is Aries season now, right? So the new moon in Aries, and it would have something to do with that theme of, Aries. So entrepreneurship, right? Entrepreneurship, something that has to do with doing things in a timely manner, right? Acting quick, things like that. Um, even some other things. Shoot, I should have had that book right here, but it's on my shelf in my bedroom. But just those things, write them down, 12 of them. Then after that, I read them out loud. And then after that, I read them, look at it again. And then after that, I close the book. And things start to happen that brings about opportunities that I can seize in order to have the things that I wrote down in my book to uh, begin to manifest. That's usually how it happens. Um, Especially by the first quarter. That's usually like the next week. First quarter, opportunity or opportunities present themselves. And then full moon, really start seeing something or releasing of something. Then that third quarter, um, mm, mm, wait, new moon, first quarter, full moon. That's really the third quarter, and then yeah, because that last week, a lot of oh my gosh, a lot of people they just be. I mean, I understand they don't know the timing, but that last week is really a time when you just kind of supposed to chill and reflect, and everybody is just all in the uproar all the time because they feel kind of drained and they feel like, but I should be doing something, but oh, I feel drained, but I should be doing something, and they like beating themselves up the whole time. And it's like, no, this is a time where you need to just be chilling, right? Chilling and reflecting and all of that, because another new moon is about to come about, and you gonna go, like it's gonna be like that. So anyway, um that's just how you do that. So in thinking about those things that you desire to come to pass for you, don't have your mind set on other people, what they think about what you're doing, especially when you're going about to make your life better, right? They're gonna think you crazy anyway. They thought you was crazy before you even started doing what you doing, right? And here's the thing: why they even thinking about you and your crazy? I mean, unless your crazy is harming folks, then you know what I'm saying. Then it's like maybe their thoughts towards you need to be, let me meditate on that they get their mind right, and yes, right. But other than that, if you know that what it is that you're doing is like, hey, I'm doing something different for a change to get my life together and just not do what everybody else is doing, because okay, we're all doing the same thing, but we're all getting at least similar results, right? And then somebody decides, you know what, I'm not gonna go this way no more. I'm gonna go this way and see what this is about, because I done did this before. I done did this the whole time. And it's just a hamster wheel, right? And of course they're gonna think you crazy. That's like today. I mean, not today, it was yesterday. It was last night, as a matter of fact. And I watched a young man. He has an outreach here in Chicago. It's really awesome. My what is it called? My block, my hood, my city, right? My block, my hood, my city. And he was just talking about things with like, in his household and his family and in his neighborhood, you know. And when he decided to do something different, right? He just decided to do something different. It was like, oh, like his family said, oh, you think you better than us? You know, his friends, oh, you leaving us? You know what I'm saying? Oh, the people in the block or the hood or whatever, oh, beat them up, right? And it's like, why is that? Oh, that's the common thread. That is the common thing, right? But Joshua said the same thing too. He said, no servant is above his master. If they hated you, and why did they hate him? Because they was doing something different. He said, well, first of all, if they hated me, what? I'm doing something different. What did he do different? Follow the law, like lived it. Everybody else was just talking about it. Everybody else was just going to the synagogue and reading about it, but then went back right on their merry way, doing all that they was doing to break the law and have to always bring in sacrifices. That was the only reason why they had to bring in sacrifices, was because they broke the law. Yahweh even said he was tired of that. He said, I'm tired, dude. He was like, I am so tired of the blood of the goats and the bullocks and the good. I don't want the sacrifices. What I want is obedience. He's like, did y'all not understand? The only reason why y'all had to sacrifice this is because of your sin. But if you wasn't sinning, which sinning just means ignorance. It just means ignorance. It means that you either didn't know the law or you didn't take time to know the law. Like you weren't taught the law, or you didn't even take time to teach yourself the law. So if you didn't know it, you're ignorant of it, right? What's the root word of ignorant? Ignore. You ignored it. So, okay, yeah, we know the law. Yeah, we going to the synagogue every Saturday, having it read in our ears. Like it wasn't preaching going on. It wasn't, like the preaching that we know today, going to the church and woo, pastor has said and did. No, that's not how they did that. They went to the synagogue to have the law read. They would choose a book and they would get that book and they read straight from out of it. That's what they did. They just read it. Because they had to have the law rehearsed in their ears all the time so that they knew it. But it fell on deaf ears because they didn't understand the meaning of it. And so because Joshua was just Yahweh manifested in a physical body, to walk the earth plane in his own body and fulfilled it or lived it, actually obeyed it. It's like, oh, you gonna obey it? You think you better than us because you obeying it? Beat them up, killed them. That's what happened. But he said before he left, he was like, yeah, they're gonna kill me. He was like, but do know that they ain't gonna like you either. No servant is above his master. They're not gonna like you either. So do not be alarmed if they don't like you. Don't think that it's like, oh, they don't like me. They will not. And so just know and understand that. But then you continue to do that because you will be fruitful and you will multiply and you will be okay. He already prayed the prayer. John 17, like read the chapter. That was his prayer. And in that, he said, make them one as we are one. And I pray, he said, I don't pray that you take them out of the world. I just pray that you keep them from the evil. So with those evil thoughts, the thoughts that those would think about you because you're doing something different. Because here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about wealth. You don't even get it unless you are truly following the law. Not following, obeying it, obedience to it. right? That's when it seemed like it's not that you don't do the work, it just don't seem like work. It is really truly a labor of love, and it's easy. It's work, but it's, and when I say it's easy, I'm saying this: it's not stressful, it's not a burden, it's not something that you, oh yeah, I don't like it. It's not that at all, right? I mean, do you get tired? Yes. You're like, whew, I'm sleepy, but I love what I do, right? And the blessings just start coming in. And then those who are thinking, right? who those who have those thoughts or whatever, that you know what they think of you, like they think you crazy and all of that, then they start seeing the fruits. It's not immediately, because just like anything else, you plant a seed, do you see the fruit the next day? No, you don't see it the next day. It might take about a good 90 days, but you start seeing the fruit with consistent work. Then all of a sudden, that you was crazy until the tree start bearing fruit. Maybe not ripe yet, but the trees start bearing fruit, right? And it's like, oh, that's like that. It's a Les Brown. What is it? It's a Les Brown video, and he talks about the bamboo. I think it's a bamboo tree. Yeah, like the bamboo tree. And so it takes a long time before the bamboo tree even grows up, right? So it's like 5 years. But the people out there watering the ground, nurturing the ground, making sure that the ground, but nothing's coming up. You're talking about 5 years. 5 years, okay? 5 whole years. They out there doing something to this dirt and this ground. You have to see the video because it's hilarious, right? It's real funny, but it's so much truth and wisdom in it, because that's just how the things are. And people will think you crazy because you're doing this thing, continuing to do this thing, whatever that thing is, consistently, and it don't look like any results that anybody is seeing, and maybe you not even seeing results either, but you're just going to continue because you, what, number one, you have the faith, because look, without faith it is impossible to please Yahweh. It just is, right? But eventually you will see with what? The consistent work and effort that you put in. And it will be rewarded, no matter what anybody thinks. If anything, they want to think to get on board, you know, go through it with you. But if not, that's cool too. But you know how that's going to end up going, on the line. But I digress. So I just wanted to share that about those thoughts and thinking, because I have coaching clients, right? And those are some of the things that do come up. I'm doing this thing, or I want to do this thing. And of course, that's what they have a coach for, right? Just to stay the course, have an accountability partner, stay the course. Don't give up, because nobody's really supporting them, right? um Absolutely, and I'm gonna put that there, right? Because without faith it's impossible to please him. Hebrews, baby, when I say Paul, he laid it on the line. he 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 Was it Hebrews chapter 12? I might need to read that, because somebody might need that, so that you don't have to, don't worry about, do not concern yourself with what other people are thinking about, whatever, that they're not even using their thinking faculties properly, not even using it properly. Let me see, I think it's Hebrews 12. It may be. It may be. Let's see. Was it 12? No, it's not that. Okay. Oh, okay. Now I see why I was led here. I do have to read that. But no, it's not that. Here 11. Hebrews 11. Now faith is the substance. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now let me tell you what happens with faith. Yes, Hebrews 11 it starts at 1 though. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now, we talked about thinking, right? To think, it's a verb. Okay, it is a verb. It means to conceive in the mind. Imagine, conceive in the mind, consider, meditate, remember, intend, wish, desire, cause to appear to oneself, right? So let me tell you how this actually works within our physiological makeup. Okay, when we activate faith, we conceive in the mind, right? The reason why it says if faith is the substance of things hoped for is because when we do that and we meditate, there's actually a cloudy substance that is secreted in the brain, in the central nervous system. And it, what's the word that I'm looking for? It lubricates. So it's secreted in the brain, in the central nervous system. It lubricates the spinal cord, right, in the central nervous system. So it lubricates it and it goes down the spinal cord in the central nervous system, right? Because you got the brain and you got the spinal cord. Those are the two parts of the central nervous system. And then you have the offshoots of the nerves, the peripheral nervous system. And so this is the central, and then the peripheral are the offshoots that go down into our arms, down into, to our heart, the liver. Like the nerves are all over the body because that's the communication highway, right? But faith truly activates the faith in the mind activates the brain. That substance, right? Faith is the substance. That substance or secretion goes to lubricate that spinal cord so that it can activate the peripheral nervous system. And the peripheral does what? That helps us to move our arms, the communication, move our arms, move our legs, right? What happened with Abraham? We can trace faith back to him. And so why did it please Yahweh that he moved on faith? Or basically, faith is trust. When that faith was activated, because look, he showed him something. He said, I'm going to show you a land to go to, right? That your fathers and they don't know anything about it. They didn't live there. They never knew nothing about it. But you going to go there, right? You're going there. And they made a covenant. But faith means trust. Faith is trust. So he trusted the word that Yahweh said, but it wasn't just like, oh, okay, go. They had an agreement. It was like, okay, well, if I go, what you gonna give me? I don't have a son. He knew that children were their wealth. I need a son. I don't have a son. And so he's like, you're gonna be a father of many nations. Like, don't even trip. you're gonna have you will have a son by your wife. You will be a father of many nations. And so it's like they made an agreement. Okay. And then he moved. So it's not just faith and then you sit there. No, that substance was just secreted down through the spinal cord, lubricating the central nervous system to the peripheral nervous system to cause you to move, make some move, take action. We talked about that in the beginning. Action, Aries, red, right? Month of April, right? Action. For by it the elders obtain a good report. Through faith we understand that the ages were ordained by the word of Elohim, so that things which were not in evidence are now seen coming to pass. By faith Abel offered unto Yahweh a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, Yahweh testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaks. Right? Now, why was his gift more, accepted or better than Cain's gift? Well, because his gift was of produce. It was something that he planted. He waited patient. He took care of it and nurtured it, waited for it to grow. And when he got the first fruits of it, he offered it. Whereas Cain went out and killed something that he did not create. He was a hunter. He hunted. He went and killed something and he brought it. And so one was death and the other one was life. That's the principle. One was death and the other was life. How you gonna kill something you ain't even make? You immediately, right? Or I'm gonna kill it, right? Abel, on the other hand, I'm a nurture something and I'm gonna bring forth life. I'm gonna wait patiently for it. I'm gonna nurture it, all of that. And then now that I have the fruit of it, here you go. Here's the first of it. Life. That's why it was more pleasing to him. And then this one, he got envious of that. And instead of going, and that's what Yahweh said. Why your face all up in a bunch? Why is your countenance looking all like that? Why is your face in a bunch? Get your boxes out your butt crack. He said, just go back and do better. No, he didn't want to do that. I'm gonna just kill the one that's doing better. What people think of you, right? Okay, they'll attempt to kill you with their thoughts. Right? Just do better. That's all you got to do. Why you use that? Why are you using your mental faculties to do that? You don't have to, right? Just go back and do better. Okay? By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death and was not found because Yahweh had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that pleased Yahweh. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that comes to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and what? All these things will be added unto you. You see how easy that is? It's so easy. It's almost like that's all I had to do. That was it. Right? And it seems like you make it look so effortless. You make it look so easy. It was like that's all I had to do. Yeah. He just said it in here in another whole part of the book. But how do you know that you need 2 or 3 witnesses? If you got 2 or 3 people that's in different places, but they can say the same thing, there must be something to it. They're saying the same thing about the same thing. Look, in different ages, That's the thing about it. In different ages. Like some of these people, they didn't even get to meet one another in the flesh, but they could say the same thing about the same one. That was it. So I ain't finna, I'll go into a whole Bible study session. So we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. But that's just that. Use your thinking faculties to cause to appear to oneself. Write it down, especially with this new moon coming, right? Write it down. But not only that, follow through when the opportunities present themselves. Pray. Pray and ask that your mind is clear so that you can see the opportunities when they present themselves to you, right? If you've been praying for a way, and this is something I say on the launch, in which you will attend today at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. You want to look there, so you can go to linktree/coach.hadassah, click Zoom, enter the password power, and you will be right in there, because I'm going to share how we're over here making money in the Forex market, and additional streams of income where we have multi-million-dollar earners over here that are coaching us to $1 million. Because they all say that if you make your first $1 million, the rest of them is easy, right? That's why you have multi-million-dollar earners, because if you do it the first time, then you could do it the second and the third time, pretty much, right? It becomes easy. So that's what we're doing over here. That's what we're learning. And what else? There's something else over here that, nope, I don't know. I thought it was something, but it's not. Okay. So that's what we're doing over here. That's what we're doing. That's what we're learning. We're already seeing the pips. We're catching them. We have 19-year-olds at $20,000 a month. We have $1 million traders over here. You know, those of us, well, I can't say that I just got started. I didn't just get started. However, you know, I've made money that I would make, let's just say in a day's work. In a day's work where, and now, you know, my carpal tunnel is flaring up, and then my ankles are swollen, and it take me 2 weeks to get myself back together, you know. And what I would make in a day doing that, I do that in by noon, sitting down on my cell phone and teaching my children how to do the same thing. Right? It's a new day. They're already doing it. They've been doing it with our money in the bank. And so we're just teaching people how to trade on the Forex market and do what the banks do with the fees that they're charging you at the bank to do it. Isn't that something? Right? All right. So that ends this power hour, or our hour of power. I'll be back again at about 6:30. Yeah, about 6:30 to come in for our 15-minute plus our 15-minute plus recap, and then we will go right into our hyper launch. All right, so you guys take care. See you on the other side of success. Peace.